Aloha! Thank you so much for watching or joining or both Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson, coming to you from the beautiful big island of Hawaii. This is my bedroom. Welcome. Okay, so I'm just going to go right to the first question that I have here. This is a really fun one too. Okay, thank you so much for last week's response to this. It's liberating and amazing. I'm working on changing myself. Just one more add-on question to the issue of me and my children. One of them has been diagnosed with depression before. He seemed to be better for a while, but now he's planning to go see a psychiatrist again. My fear is that he will be put on antidepressants again as he was before. Do I disregard any of my mental concerns and fears about it and just work on how I feel about it as well? And does the same thing go for being hurt and frustrated by the fact that the same child is angry at me, blames me for most of his problems, and doesn't respect my opinions? So as you can see, this is super juicy. And Yulia joined. Hi, Yulia. Aloha. You can raise your hand if you would like to speak with me on this. Okay? Otherwise, I'll just start addressing these things. This is really fun. Thank you. So, okay. I'm working on changing myself. Okay, so that's one part that kind of sticks out to me, just because there seems to be some kind of identification there, but I also see that it's coming from a place of, hey, I know where I need to look now, and it's not out there in the material world. It's actually on my own energy field and not looking to try to change things on the surface. Okay? I can definitely see where you're open in that respect. Thank you. Just one more add-on question. Okay, one of them has been diagnosed with depression before. Okay, so he seemed to be better for a while, but now he's planning to go see a psychiatrist again. Okay, one thing to get in a beautiful and compassionate way, not in a way like you're like saying that he shouldn't be doing whatever he's doing. It's an act. The whole thing is. It can't be any other way. And let me tell you, it's no different from acting like we're sick, we have some sort of disease or anything like that. It is an act that's coming from the subconscious mind. It's ideas being acted out. Okay? I mean, I even see that in myself. Like lately I've been feeling, actually for the past month and a half, I've been feeling this this nausea, right? And noticing that it's not, I'm not a victim of it. I'm actually acting like that. I could see myself acting like that. In fact, I'll see myself with, with all this kind of pain in my abdomen and stuff, and actually moaning like, oh, like that. And it'll actually make me laugh. It's funny. All this stuff is an act. We don't realize it. We start taking it seriously. That doesn't mean you need to tell your son it's an act, because he might take that really a way that, just deepens the fear and deepens that, I guess, gap between, seeming gap between you two, So there's no need to deepen any fear or anything like that. But with you understanding that it's an act, you can be there with this openness that heals this delusion that something like this is necessary. Okay? That's how something like that is dealt with. Oh, there's the hand. How fun. Yay. Aloha, Yulia.
Hi, aloha. Hey, yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you because I tend to talk a lot. And then I wanted to you first.
Aw, you
But
sweetheart.
But anyway, I broke, so here I am.
Okay, I'm happy to
Yeah,
have you.
I mean, it just is it going to be enough, right? To just be have some sort of an openness and a good
Yes,
positive attitude. I'm concerned about that. I already did speak to him, but we spoke about it before, and I expressed my concerns. But I guess what I have is fears of him being on pills, and me suggesting anything like listening to something where somebody talks about mindfulness, whatever,
yes,
anything where I think he could go for help,
yeah,
it's with protest. He
sure.
thinks it's being ridiculous. Depression is a real diagnosis. I am being a horrible person because I'm denying it and I don't understand how difficult he has it. That's sort of the thing. So that does
Sure.
deepen the gap.
Yes, of course. And see, the thing is, and I have such experience with this because, like my kids and stuff, they were sort of like against me even, you know, going on a spiritual path, being open up to spiritual ideas and stuff like that. If I were to even try to communicate with them, it would be met with protest, right? But
Yes,
but
exactly.
that's not how we share. That's not how we share this wisdom. We don't share it like that. We share it through energy. So
Mm-hmm.
we share it by it's almost by example, but it's also a sharing of energy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't get there by concern. I mean, concern is something that just is is an effect of thinking we're separate. Let's put it that way. So if you recognize that concern, it's not just a word, that's a feeling in the body, right?
Mm-hmm.
You recognize what concern is, you don't keep on following thoughts that justify concern because there's no justification for it. There's none.
In
And
a way,
if you have justification for it, then and you're holding that, that's an energy that actually promotes this depression act. Okay?
mm-hmm.
You're having concern about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's one thing for concern to be there, but if you take it as something that it means that you're supposed to do something other than experience what concern is like,
Mm-hmm.
then
Or fear, rather. I would say I have a fear.
yes. Well, you don't have complete trust yet. You're not completely trusting, and
No.
and and you will be as long as you're open to it. And what I see is you're more consistently making the choice to be open to it. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
not so much in the moment, but even just bringing this up to talk about it, to be open to it. I mean, that's big, and you just with patience, you just kind of like allow your spiritual teacher within to just open you up to it, and just watch yourself, watch how you act, watch concern. You go look at yourself in the mirror when you're concerned. Watch what your face looks like. It's funny.
uh, that brings me to another question. Last time we spoke, and I listened to it again today, you mentioned that um, I'm starting to look for an outcome out of a spiritual experience. And
Yeah.
yes, it's true.
Yes.
But then there's the other thing that's the opposite is true. Um, not knowing that I have some sort of a situation that seems to be, let's say, disharmonious, right?
Okay.
Or full of some sort of pain and anxiety and disharmony, seems to be a sign that I'm not doing so great spiritually or something.
Oh, okay.
So you
Okay.
kind of
Well,
feel like, oh, I didn't do it right, or something like that. I'm all wrong again.
yeah. Great. Thank you for bringing that up because that's a real effective trick of the ego to make you feel guilty for going through anything in an apparent disharmonious situation. And all that does is add to the disharmony. That's all it does. You know, you're not, it's not like you're an individual like that. Like you could have done it any different. You can only in that moment you can only do the best you can do. There's
Mhm.
no way for you to do it any different than it was done, or apparently done, because actually nothing even happened.
Mhm.
It's all just an awakening. It's all just an experience of awakening.
Mhm. Yeah. Also, it seems like it's really hard to find that balance between um, just working, whatever you call it, working, not working, watching your reactions, emotions, energy, and focusing on that,
Yeah.
and uh, deciding when to act, when not to act, and not, judging your actions,
Well,
or not being confused about it. Yeah, I think I mentioned before, it used to be very easy for me to act, except in the situation with the kids.
huh?
And I find myself really eager to act, and I find myself also kind of being thrown back and forth. I go, look, I need to act. I need to set boundaries. They promised me this and they promised me that, and they didn't do it. How many more times? How much longer? My parents are coming. I will not have room here. I need to act. I have the right to, right? I'm entitled to, or something like that. Uh, but on
It's
the
a,
other hand, I go like, wait, no, that's wrong. I need to sit here and focus on what I'm feeling, and how that's expressing in my energy body. And then,
okay.
of course, the next thought, and then things will fix themselves, or something.
Uh-huh. And here's the thing when you're looking at them like that, you're looking at them from a sense of separation. So it's like it's like just let the thoughts go. So if a thought comes up and it's like so that I can get something, just let it be. Just let the thought be. Just let it pass. You know, you don't have to identify it. All you're doing is seeing that it's not true. All you're doing is when it comes up, you just see it's not true. That's it. So it comes up and it says, "Oh yeah, you want this so you can get an outcome." Just it's still not saying anything about you. Doesn't mean anything. But if you make it mean something, then it's like something you have to try and heal, and then that is just something that goes round and round. Okay?
And the last thing is about time. Also, last time you mentioned, which I feel that that's true. You're right. There is no time. And when they say, "Oh, he's running out of time," my son who promised
Yeah.
me he's going to go to college,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, that's like not true. And there's that certain feeling that comes with the thought that there's not enough time. It's all true. Yes, but then there's a but.
Yeah.
But there are deadlines for applying to college, and they're getting close, and he's not done anything, and I've been through this before. And the same way goes for planning. It seems like, wait, but I want to plan my life too. And that's actually something I clashed with him on before, where I
Wonderful.
would tell him, look, tell me what your plan is. I already told you I don't know what my plan is. It's like, I need to know how to plan my life. And he used to get so angry at me. It was very
Oh, how sweet. How sweet. Yeah, so you can see, you know, it's like when a child, you know, they kind of like automatically know that they have a lot more freedom than the adult knows. So the adult is over here trying to get them to plan because they think they need planning. And there's really no need for that. If it happens, fine. It's part of the game. You can plan all you want. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And you don't know what it can be. It's way more mystical than that. Let's put it that way.
so eager for them to become independent. I wanted that for so long, and I'm so tired of the
So
fact that they're
how
not.
would you feel without that? How would you feel without that?
Oh God, like screaming and kicking and making something happen.
That's funny. That's funny.
Like I can't do this. Why
Yeah.
why can't I, you know, have my life and my space? Why won't my children
Yeah, don't
start
you feel kind of like
growing up? They're not really children anymore. How much longer? That kind of thing.
yeah, don't you feel kind of like you're throwing a fit?
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like a toddler throwing a
I
fit.
do,
Yeah, I've even pictured myself like figuratively, kicking and punching in the air.
Yes.
You might as well just get on the ground and do that. That would probably be a nice release.
Yeah, yeah. Make them want to go throw all of their things out and, yell at them and stuff like that. But then, of
Yeah.
course, I'm sorry.
Yep, those are you know what, that's an amazing opportunity for you, Yulia. Any kind of energy that's that intense for you, that's like a key. It's like a key. It's
And
like
the
you
thing is,
unlock that one and it.
Why can't I get them out of here? Whoa, who says I'm not allowed?
Yep, you see that? That's that voice that keeps that kind of energy going. If you believe that voice, if you trust in that voice, then it's just going to keep that kind of energy going.
But then if I don't let it come, then what do I do? Just continue on? I don't know.
Well, see, here's the thing. You don't do anything. You don't do anything. All those decisions that you make, they're made for you based on how you've been relating with your own thought. Okay? They're being just played out like a play that's already been written. So it's still being written. Like as you're experiencing, you have a grand opportunity for reinterpretation of what you thought was true. There's so much fear wrapped around this and attachment to outcome. Those feelings are so intense in your body. If they're just given the opportunity to play out, you're going to become aware of the kinds of beliefs you've been holding that are holding this kind of energy to you.
Boy, this one is hard.
Well, congratulations, because these, it's like you don't get anything that you can't handle. Okay, so there's nothing that can be thrown out at you that you can't handle.
Yeah, I just know that there's still that subversive thought that I will know that I've handled this once it's resolved.
Okay, well there you go. That's meaningless too. How's that?
But then I'm terrified. That means it's not going to be resolved, or I have to be okay with how it is, or something like that. That causes so much protest.
Okay, let me just assure you of this. When your energy field is healed of this kind of illusion that you have with your sons, you will not give a rat's ass whether they're there or not. Okay? It won't matter. It won't even matter. And when it doesn't matter, then it's like you just freed them up to follow their creativity. That's what I noticed in my own experience. Okay?
I kind of so feel that that's true, but oh God, and there's also so much pressure from other people, but I guess because I'm complaining about my children to other people.
Okay, that's one thing. Yes,
and dropping ideas that seem to be attractive, like kick them out, or oh no, their poor children, support them, from two extremes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just all delusion. And whenever you tell other people about the delusions and they buy into them, you actually promote that energy. It's almost like fuel for that kind of energy between you and your son.
Yeah, I noticed.
Every time you tell that story, you act like it's real. Every time you tell it and act like it's real, and someone believes you that it's real.
Yeah, and it is like an addiction. I noticed. Why am I complaining about them again?
Right. Right. Just get on the floor and throw a fit. Get it over with.
Okay. I might do that.
Yeah.
Throw things around.
Yes. Yes. You can do that. Because you can treat it as what it is. It's this intense energy building up that it's looking for an outlet.
Oh, it is, yes.
You can treat it like that, and I've even experienced in my own life, being able to scream. There was a certain period, maybe a 2-month period or something, where this screaming was so relieving, and it really helped me to see that everything I was perceiving was really coming from my own mind, So that could be a big relief too, or punching or whatever, but the important thing is in the moment that it arises, that the energy is being we're paying attention to what is really causing this perceived situation in our lives. We're paying attention to that which is causing it, which is which can be felt as an energy. It's like a distorted energy, uncomfortable and or painful, like that. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
None of that is natural. None of that kind of stuff is real. Doesn't point to anything that's true. Okay? Yay.
It's so thick, and yet it's not real.
Yeah, it's not real. That's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah, and it sounds like you may have reached kind of like emergency. I started calling it emergency status. It's like you're just to the point where your back's against the wall, and it's like, okay, I have no choice. I really. That's what it feels like. Okay, I really just need to really look at this because this hasn't been getting better.
No, it's a very, very long story. It didn't just start.
Right. It's a long
story. You know, now they're 20 and 22, but it started way before then, and
of course,
it's a long story of how it grew, but it's definitely a pattern.
Yes. So yes, you disregard your mental concerns. I mean, just notice them. That's all. You know, you don't want to you just notice them when you have a mental concern and you feel some energy in the body, that concerned energy. Notice what it is. I mean, I've had that happen to me where I was concerned for someone, and I was feeling concerned while we were hugging, and I noticed I was feeling concerned, and as soon as I noticed it and I experienced the concern right there, all of a sudden my energy just started flowing. I could feel like the Reiki coming from my hands and stuff, and so did she. She even made a comment about it. So it's like it's like the concern doesn't help anyone. It's the love that we share, and that's what comes through naturally. You don't have to try to love anyone. It comes through naturally when there isn't any concern or worry or anything like that in its way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll sit with that for a while.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, maybe we'll see you again next week.
Definitely. I'm still here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mahalo, Yulia. Aloha.
Aloha. Mahalo.
I see a hand. Paul, how fun. I'm unmuting you. Aloha, Paul.
I hope.
Yay.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
Oh, great. So I have two questions.
Okay.
Well, how are you doing?
Amazing. Thank you so much for asking.
That question just popped up in my mind.
Yeah.
My real question was beyond that one. You know, you mentioned your inner spiritual guide, your inner spiritual guidance.
Yeah.
You know, how do you tap into that? How do you open that up?
Oh, that's the basicest of all basics. It's only just the same thing I've been talking about. When worry is released and stuff like that, not even necessarily released, just a willingness to see through it. It's almost like, look at this with me. You know, I've heard it said, Holy Spirit, please look at this with me. You know, so it's a willingness to see through this worry, fear, anything like that. You know, it's like that there's an inner guide that is totally ready for that. It's like you know, it's your own self. It's not separate from who you are, but it's yourself without the illusion of separation. See, it's a part of yourself without the illusion of separation. So it's like always calling you back. It's always calling you home, basically, because you are it, and it is you.
So it's kind of like wearing an attitude of I'm open to another possibility here.
That's it. Yes, you got it.
Even though I don't see all the possibilities, I'm open to it and keep asking, show me, show me, show me.
There you go. and feel, because what's necessary is for you to feel the effect. The feeling body, that's the first effect before it's manifest. The first effect of this thought, like the root effect, it's in the energy field. When you're feeling and experiencing that without judgment, and that's why you might be asking to look with whatever. It doesn't matter what name you give it. It's just looking with real eyes, basically, and looking through the illusion. Anything that is not of God, that is not of love, is an illusion. And where there's willingness to look through illusions, there will be openings. That's the promise, and that's what happens. Okay?
Willingness to look. That's the key.
Yes, yes. Willingness to see the falseness in this. Okay? Any kind of concern, fear, judgment, anything. Yeah, you just a willingness, and you're gonna see. And every time you recognize that a thought can't possibly be true, there's a healing there, and it compounds on itself. It opens you up even more to even more insight like that. Okay.
So what if you believe the thought's true, but you know it's hurting, and you know you're believing something that's not true, but you're not there where you're not seeing that it's not true. Like you're still caught in it, but you're just opening you're like I'm still caught in the thing that's making me afraid.
Well, you only think you're caught in it though, because you're not anything that's caught in anything. You're actually watching that happen.
Okay.
Okay, you're actually watching that happen, and then you're taking the position that it's you. Okay, you're taking that position, saying that it's you, and then in doing that, there's identification, and that's where the ego comes in. Any identification like that. Okay.
So just remembering the possibility that that's going on behind the scenes, even though I'm experiencing something that seems really real, just kind of stepping out. It's amazing because I keep forgetting this. I've heard this from you a whole bunch of times, and
Yeah.
the forgetting. I guess it's the practice, right?
Yeah, the forgetting and remembering is just part of it. You're still not the one forgetting either. You're actually watching this forgetting and the remembering. See what I'm saying? And then Phoebe just wrote presence versus personhood. That feels good. I like the way that, yeah. And that reminds me of the choice that I talk about. There's just one choice. Presence or personhood. That's another way to put it. Isn't that fun?
Caught up in the story of Paul versus presence.
Right. Yeah, like Paul is the one forgetting and remembering even. That's all a story.
So that, I think, answers my next question, which was, like, I'm trying some new things in my business, putting a lot of money into it, putting a lot of things kind of on the line, it feels, and have people that my attitude affects. So I want to be my best. I don't want to be believing things that aren't true, so I can really, really support them with my best.
Yeah.
And so here I am thinking thoughts like, oh, I'm going to fail. I feel afraid. I'm worried.
Yeah.
And I forgot the answer. I saw the answer to this before I asked the question, and I've forgotten it.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's just not
okay.
identifying with
Presence versus Paul.
that. Yeah, presence versus Paul. There you go.
Right.
That's a good one. So
Presence
maybe
1, Paul 0.
yeah, maybe you go like this. Maybe you have an iPhone.
I have an Android.
Okay, so there's probably a way for you to make it like give you a nice little sound every so often on your phone, and it just comes up and gives you a sweet little flute sound or whatever you like, and it says presence versus Paul. That's a fun way because you know you're just going and you're like going about your day and you might like run into some forgetfulness and then you see that and it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fun, right?
I could write it on my forehead backwards so when I look in the mirror, I'll remember.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yay.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you too. So lovely to share with you. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to Bob's question now. Or Bob, I don't know if you're really posing this as a question or if you just want to have a convo on it. What's going on here? But raise your hand if you want to talk with me. Oh, there's his hand. That was quick. Aloha, Bob.
Oh, hi, Hope. Well, you said that you had some special guests. You wanted it to end soon, so I thought maybe I could just talk to you later or something. But,
Is it something that you would like to have recorded and be on YouTube and all that kind of stuff and share with all the other people on air?
well, I mean, it's just basically this whole thing of the ego, dealing with
Okay.
other people's egos and their misconceptions through misperceptions that they project and blame and
Yeah.
guilt and
Yeah.
onto me. And then, I have this eye issue. I injured my eye on a twig, and
Yeah.
I feel like I'm living that biblical thing about how instead of trying to take the speck out of the other person's eye, look at the log in your own eye.
Yes. Yes. I hear you. Yeah.
Because I see all these kind of egotistical, arrogant,
Mhm.
people that I'm around and I've had to deal with, and it just basically brings up my ego. And so I'm really seeing all of our problems is this selfhood apart from God, the separation, the me and the not me, that I'm here and there's something out there that can be my threat or an advantage. And it's like love is the answer, union is the answer, but I'm still working through this issue about people's egos and that stuff that they think and feel and believe that aren't true, and they're just kind of in their head and in their isolation, and there's no truth about it that they project onto me. And but then see, then I get to thinking about them and their ego, and instead of looking at me and how they're triggering mine, I need to look at my own stuff, and that they're actually helping me to look at my own stuff, that this is a gift, because I have to get in touch with this Bob Shine character and to love it or to know it or heal it or release it or something. So I'm trying to get out of this, ego web.
Yeah, I see what's going on there, and I thank you for inviting me to that meeting with yesterday because I was really able to see what's going on right there with your body, what's going on in your energy body and stuff like that. And if you want, I can share it with you right now, or I can share it with you in private later if you're interested in that more.
Well, here we are. Let's
Okay.
hear it. Let's.
Okay. Okay, so I hear you saying things about other people's ego and stuff like that, and there's a real overlooking of what's going on because there's not other people, so there's not anyone else's ego to deal with. There's only you. I mean, really, there is one of us. Okay, when it comes to this level, it's just there's no separation when you're perceiving an energy of ego, okay, and it's one thing to be aware of it, but if you're in it, And that's what I see in your body language, that you're actually in that dance. And I see how you're in the dance with this kind of energy, and I can also see how it hasn't been healed, and you'll be attracting it again.
Right. Well, that's the problem, is that the last person that I was caretaker, these two people that I was caretaker, they were both mothers with sons. They were mothers that lived with their sons, and so then I feel like, well, they're reflecting some unhealed aspects of me and my mother.
Okay, so all that is nothing. It's just let it be irrelevant. Let that be irrelevant, okay? Because you've been trying to fix yourself on that thing the whole time, and that's really a distraction. It's really distracting you. You know, it's like there's a posture. This is what needs to be looked at. There's a posture of defensiveness. I noticed when Michelle was talking to you yesterday, she wanted to basically, like I said, Michelle really wanted to get some stuff off of her chest. She wanted you to hear what she had to say, and she just wanted to get that out. And on the surface, I see that you're trying to be something kind and stuff like that. And I can also see that in your energy field there is a lot of defensiveness, and that's where your attention needs to go, is to this defensiveness. Feel that defensiveness. It's like, what is it that's trying to do, and what is it trying to defend? There's still a lot of projection going on about what kind of person Michelle is and that kind of stuff. And when it comes to the money, it's like the story comes up many, many times about how I'm not a capitalist or something like that. And that's part of the defense. It really is. And, if you're willing to look at that, even now after the fact that all this has gone down, if you're willing to look at it when these thoughts come up, you're going to start to see. And it's only willingness, Bob. It only takes willingness. And what I see is a bit of a stubbornness about this, because it's like we've been in wisdom dialogues a whole bunch of times, and we talk about feeling the feelings in the body and stuff like that. And what I observed yesterday was a very much resistance to feeling. And I don't know if you noticed that. Did you? How did you feel?
Well, yeah, I guess I just felt like I was saying that, she's projecting all this stuff onto me and accusing and blaming stuff that I don't feel happened. I don't feel I'm guilty of,
Okay,
so then
Bob.
I don't own that.
Okay, so stop right there. That's all you. All that stuff you're saying about her projecting onto you, it's all about you. It's not about her. It's all about you. It's not about what she's doing. That's something that you're trying to separate. Your ego is basically trying to separate itself from that, saying that I'm not about that. And that's the thing. It's like this is a total pattern that will repeat itself because you're believing your projections about her. They're not one bit true. She can't project onto you. That's impossible. She can only project onto you if you're totally permitting it. Let's put it that way, okay? You have to be totally in that dance with her to even perceive that someone is projecting onto you. It's like in truth, even to perceive that someone is projecting onto you is just a cover-up. It doesn't matter what a person's doing. That's not possible. Okay?
It's a cover-up for what?
Defensiveness, guilt. Okay?
Right. Yeah, that's just it. Then I have there's my ego that then is guilty about something. Someone's trying to guilt me, blame me. Then I get guilty, and I feel like I'm not guilty. I'm innocent, and so then I defend myself.
Yes, that's right. She is your projection. Okay, she's not projecting onto you. She is your projection. She is showing you what you think. Okay, and so if you're not looking at what you think, how that came about based on your thoughts, then you're not willing. It's just because you're not willing to see it. There's an addiction to these kinds of energies. Okay, there's addiction to these kinds of things that have been playing out for a long time. Okay, and in yours, I know it started with your mother and all that stuff, but the story isn't important. Okay, that story with your mother isn't important. It's just that right now, when any thought of Michelle is coming up or anything like that, there has to be a willingness to see that she is your projection. She is not projecting anything onto you. Anything. Okay?
Right.
And so then you can be shown how this is even showing up as quote unquote reality for you. See?
Right. Yeah. So I got to take the power. No one needs to project anything onto me. If that's what they project onto me is my projection onto them, that's then reflected back on me. So it's all coming from me, not my mother, not. But then there's this idea that there's the negative script. I'll always be shamed, punished, and abandoned, and so I radiate the script out to the world, and then they read it back to me. So I'm.
You keep playing along. You keep playing along. Any moment, any moment you can basically just be willing to see. You could just you could even ask, like we were talking about earlier. You can even ask when you're seeing Michelle as any kind of threat to you, as if she can project onto you or anything like that, or do anything to you. You can ask to see with real eyes in whatever form that takes. But you're not asking to see with real eyes, because what's being held up, sort of like an idol before love, is your ideas about Michelle. Okay?
Right.
So if you're holding those ideas, you're not asking to see with real eyes. Okay?
Right. I wrote that down, what you were saying earlier, looking with real eyes, looking through the illusion and the falseness. And so now I've got an eye issue. I got to go to the eye doctor.
Isn't that fun?
Right. Like I'm saying, take the speck out of the beam out of your own eye. So so this so that's what my body's, you're saying that pay attention to my body. What's my body telling me? And look what my body's doing to me now.
Yeah, and really what it is not, I say body to show you where to direct your attention, but it's actually the energy that's projecting the body that you're paying attention to. That energy projecting the body is also projecting the whole world that you perceive, including Michelle.
That's right.
So hooray!
Hooray! Okay.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this transpires for you, because I really appreciate your openness, Bob. I think you're so awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Hope. I love you. You mean the world to me.
Aww.
And I'll just never be able to thank you enough. So.
Of course you can.
Who's your friend?
Oh, it's Tony's friend since high school, so he's been around us a lot. I've been with Tony for like 23 years, so I've known him just as long. And he came with his wife and daughter. Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, then, thank you very much, Hope, for wanting to go into this with me today. I hope everyone
Yeah, I was so excited to. I appreciate you so much, Bob.
Okay. Thank you, Hope. I love you.
I love you. Okay, so I have one more question here. It's on forgiving. So basically, what is being called forgiving is just seeing through the illusion. It's seeing that what is not of love is not possible. Okay? Forgiving itself is also an illusion. It isn't even necessary unless the illusion of lovelessness is there, because that's what it's for. Okay, so then is self-forgiveness love? Well, it could be said that forgiveness is the tool of love, let's say like that. Okay? But love, there's no forgiveness in love because there's just no need for it. There's no need for it. In the illusion, let's say forgiveness is the tool of love. And it's all the self, so it's not a separate, whether it seems to be someone on the outside of you that needs forgiveness, it's never like that because there's only one of us. Once again, there's only one of us. Hooray! We have all power, transmute energy. How do I do that? Well, it's the same as always, Christine. It's just the simplest thing. It's just the simplest thing. Are we believing what the illusion is showing us is true? One way to say it, are we believing that our body's sense, what our body senses, is actually true? These senses is actually true, or is love the only reality? That's it. Or like we were talking about with Paul and Phoebe earlier, presence versus personhood. It's always that same choice. There's nothing else but that same choice. There's nothing else there. Everything that happens on the surface, it can just go how it goes, but that's all it is. The more forgiveness, love, forgiveness that's allowed, the more beautiful the story goes automatically. No one has to try to manifest anything. Isn't that great? That's total freedom just to be here now, because the manifestation is being projected by the same mind that's experiencing right now.